What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming.
It's Monday, the top of the month, and that means a shout out. What's up, everyone? How you doing? I'm your buddy Big Johnny G, and here at Two Gun Pixie, the first Monday of every month, we do a shout out for that month. We give a grand shout out and let you all know what's going down on our channel for the entire month, because we have everything filmed, in the can, edited, uploaded, all ready for the drop date for them to appear. And that's it. We do this all the time for fun. This is a for fun channel. No backers, no sponsors, no patrons, no nothing. Just here for fun. And look at the amount of videos we put up every week. Alright, so I think it's about time you find out what's going on this month, because we got a lot of stuff going on this month besides the fact of an extra video, Gaming Radar, every single day of the month, on top of everything else. Alright, so why don't we get down to the table and talk about it? I'll see you down the table, and we are going to get to say, what's up, December? I need a drink there. And here we are, ready to talk about the amazing, the legendary month that we are going to have here at Two Gun Pixie. Now, you know, at the beginning of every week, every Monday morning, Eastern Standard Time, we do drop a weekly list of what to expect for the full week. And now here at the top of every month, we do this. We do a monthly shout out. So let's start with our Sundays. Now, Sundays here, we have been doing slideshows, and we've changed that up. I'm hoping to get back to Sundays. We did change that. A bunch of the slideshow Sundays got moved with the Pixie playthroughs on Saturdays, changing that up. But the plan right now, moving forward, especially into the next year, there may be a few stragglers here this month, but we are going to be moving things back. So let's say Sundays are the slideshow gaming episodes. We got a bunch of those planned out for December, and this month they're kind of compilations. They're kind of compilations for the end of the year. I kind of think that's a bit appropriate. But we're going to get into some real chunky episodes, starting with the Mondays. Now on Monday, obviously, right now you're watching this. You're watching this. This is our What's Up episode, as I've already said. Now, at the end of every month, we go live, and I do a questions, comments, AMA kind of thing, just going through everything that's found its way into comment sections. And I talk about that, and I give shout-outs to everyone. So I have a lot of fun doing those. But we do have a few other Mondays snuck in between the first and the last here. And I do got some interesting midday monologues planned out for those. Starting with one where I talk about a trivial problem in board games, but still major. Can something be a major problem and trivial at the same time? Well, you're going to have to watch next Monday's episode in order to find out what I'm talking about and if that is even possible. Now, we're going to jump in after that to the winter catalog. That's kind of like what I'm doing now, but since I know all of the games incoming that are going to be unboxed, they're going to have playthroughs, maybe some of them might have how-to plays, slideshow gamings for them. I know all the games, they're here. I've already done the unboxings for them and everything. I know what games and titles I'm going to be showing off and that we're going to have a good time together. So why don't we just take a good look at that overview for the Winter Catalog 2023, and I think you're going to find some really fun and interesting titles are making their way here to Two Gun Pixie's Nerd Wasteland. And that's going to close out. That's going to close out on Mondays. We have some good Mondays in line, but now why don't we take a look at what Tuesdays have in store? Now this month all of the Tuesdays are going to be tabletop takeout. I've been pretty strict on that lately. There's been a few variations of what I do with tabletop takeout Tuesdays earlier in the year, but right now it's again pretty much in stone that's what it is. Now I'll be discussing next month. I do have a plan. I think it's about time that I started going back to some of the older games and seeing if my opinions on them still stand up. Kind of like a tabletop takeout reorder. But right now we have a bunch for this month, including Underleague, which is a game where you are in this quite physical and figurative underworld setting where you are a breeder of monsters, a purchaser of monsters, and you train them to fight other monsters. But besides the fighting, it also has a fun gambling aspect, so we're going to be talking about that. Another title that's been out for a few years has finally reached my talking points, and that's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, the board game. So this novel was really hot several years ago. It was a fun TV series, which is how I really came into it. And I think the board game does a decent job of kind of trapping all the elements and the themes from the show, at least that I know. I don't know the books. But we're going to be talking about that. Another title we're going to be talking about is Marvel Strike Teams. This is another title that's been out for a few years, but it's finally been played a few times by us, and I'm ready to talk about the game. I don't like to just jump into things, you know? So, yeah, come by for that. And finally, there's going to be a talk about a game called Martians, which is just that. It's kind of like Mars Attacks a little bit. So think of that angle. That's what we're going to be talking about. And that's going to be filling in our Tuesdays. But now, as you know, we always do unboxings for Wednesdays. So what's in store this month? Well, a title that's going to be coming out by a small self-publisher, Trost Games. I've been sitting on this for a while, and it's about time I finally dropped this unboxing and get to show everyone what we've been playing here behind the scenes without even bother talking about it too much. So that's going to be fun. Funko Games. Funko Games has really caught my attention this past year, and I've really discovered how fun the Funko games are. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Funko Pops and their big heads, that's just a personal thing. If you love them, that's fine. Keep buying them up. Love what you love, my friends. But the games, the Funko games, I've really gotten into. Now, there's always seems to be unboxings here for Fantasy Flight games. And yes, there's going to be at least one FFG unboxing here this month. And this is a title I've been sitting on for a while. And now it's about time. And finally, I'm going to be doing an unboxing by a company that is very niche in what it does, as far as I can tell. And that's called Tidy Boss. And I sure hope you like what you see. Now, with the Wednesdays behind us, we're going to be moving into Thursdays. This month, I have two special presentations. I haven't done one of these in a while, since the beginning of the year, earlier in the year, I think is the last time. That's because I only do it when there is something special in order to talk about it that may not fit in with the shows that we have scheduled, or maybe if it does, there's already something scheduled for that slot, and I really don't want to change that. So that's what brings us around to Two Gun Pixie's special presentation. And there's going to be two this month. The first is what I call Towns and Dungeons. And, Towns and Dragons, I'm sorry. This is going to be about town adventures in D&D versus dungeon adventures in D&D. Because they are different, not only in the way you read the rules in the DM's guide explaining the differences between those two style of environments, but also from the DM's point of view, if you are a tabletop builder, the massive difference between these two. And we're going to be delving into that because it's been something I've been dealing with all year long. Now, we're going to do a special presentation also about moving forward. There are some subtle changes that have been happening here in Two Gun Pixie, and they're pretty much solidified. And I want to talk about them and what's going on, because that may change some of the viewership. Not much. It's not a heavy change. I may be being very dramatic about this. But still, something I want to talk about. So that'll be a 2GP special presentation called Moving Forward. I hope everyone checks that out and appreciates and enjoys what I have to say there. Now, of the other two titles I'm going to be dropping for Thursdays this month, Big Giant G's How to Play is back. I don't always do a lot of them, but I just was having so much fun. I really wanted to do one for this game. That's Fantasy Flux. I have been enjoying that, and I think it may be my new favorite of the Flux games, actually. And then at the end of the month, as we do on the fourth Thursday of every month, and we have been for the last 13 months, as of this month, we're going to be doing Tales from the Table. And this is part 13. This is the epilogue. Actually, this is the wrap-up. Not even the epilogue. This is the wrap-up, the recap, the review. My players are going to be talking about concerning the Forge of Fury module that we just completed and all my little changes to it. And this also marks the end of that particular campaign. Those characters are going to continue. If you've been enjoying their stories about their characters and what I've been putting them through, that's going to continue. But we are taking a little bit of a break. But that's something I'm going to be talking about during moving forward, I think. So I'm not going to get into too much of that right now. There'll be a little change, and then things back to normal. And that's what the Thursdays are going to be like here at Two Gun Pixie. That brings us to the weekends. Well, Friday isn't really a weekend, is it? But we all consider at least Friday night the start of the weekend. Or as I like to call it here, the gateway to the weekend. That's what Friday is, especially Friday night. It is literally the gateway to the weekend. And I do enjoy doing live playthroughs whenever I can. Usually, most of the time, they're live for the weekends. The Friday night fillers, where I tend to play the shorter games that take an hour or less to play. And then Pixie playthroughs, or usually the titles that'll take me longer than that. That's how I break it down with those two. So let's take a look at what I have planned, because things always seem to change. Let's see what I had planned for Friday. Paper Dungeons is a fun game, and I have been enjoying the campaign. Actually, calling it a campaign may be a little bit strong. I've been enjoying running the story of this game, and that's going to continue. I have a few more sessions to do, and there'll be one played this month for Paper Dungeons. Now, I've been having a series of wins and losses, both on camera and off camera, with Unbroken, and I'm really trying to get 2 in a row of wins. So I plan on doing this, having another run. I love playing Unbroken, and so I love doing it on camera. I love showing the game off, even though it was such a difficult game to get, and it was so screwed by the Kickstarter. I'm sorry about that to everyone. But I really honestly believe, still to this day, even a few years after it's been released, the game is still worth it. The game still stands up. Check out one of my many playthroughs of it, or come by this weekend and check. Is that going to be this weekend? I'm not sure what weekend that's going to be, which Friday it's going to be, but it's going to be on a Friday. Now I'm also going to be running the game at Dark Tower, the original Dark Tower. We're going to be running that, and that's going to be a Friday night filler, because generally that game takes me less than an hour to play. So that's always a bunch of fun. I've loved playing that game since I was a child. Now, if I'm playing Unbroken, usually within a week or two, I will be playing Iron Helm. The two games are similar, and I enjoy playing them back to back. I do. They go well together, even though they are so similar. Usually you would think maybe something a little bit different, but that always seems to work. Now, Saturdays. The bigger, heavier games, like I was saying. So, Hero's Quest, I still have a few more adventures in Keller's Keep. I want to finish those up because the party has been going strong. Now, since I'm going to be doing a Friday night filler of Dark Tower, I am going to do a Pixie playthrough of Return to Dark Tower. Which of the expansions I'm going to add in with it, I'm not sure. I just got the new one, Covenant. I'll have to see. There's so much stuff. I don't like playing this a lot on camera because it is just such a large footprint that it takes up. It's not the easiest game to capture when you're doing a static, usually, a static camera shot like I do. But it's worth it. And there's been a request. There was a request just a couple of weeks ago when I was doing the November viewer comments. There was a request for me to do a live playthrough of Castle Ravenloft. So I will happily do that, and I believe I can get that squeezed in this month. Even though it wasn't planned, I think I can do that. So look forward to that this month also. So that's everything we got going. That is, I'm knocking everything around down here. I got stuff everywhere. Don't look behind the curtain or past the frame of the box, because it is chaos outside of this box. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm, as always, your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Picture presents Legendary Gaming, and I am out of here.